Ready? Play.
The backhand from Sabalenka to the backhand of Pegula up the middle. Forehand cross-court Sabalenka to the cross-court of Pegula. They're still going cross-court on the forehand. Pegula's pushed back, still gets it in though. Slice from Sabalenka on the defence. Pegula's going to come in behind the forehand. Sabalenka's going to go for the pass. Oh, Pegula can't control it. Sabalenka is the Miami champion of 2025. And her hands are on her face. She is loving life right now. It was a bit scrappy to start, but as the match went on, Sabalenka just looked more and more inevitable. She is the world number one, and she just reminded the world today why.
Brilliant from Sabalenka. She finally gets her big title this year. She's been wanting it. She was desperate after the Australian Open. She was gutted that she didn't get it done against Madison Keys, but it was fantastic today from Sabalenka. That first set was really the key after such a seesaw first set. And then it went the way of Sabalenka. It was always going to be difficult for Pegula to dig herself out of that hole against someone with Sabalenka's consistent quality and power. And Sabalenka really, really deserves that. I'm glad that at world number one, she finds her big title, her first big title as world number one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is his world number one as well. Yeah, because she hasn't won a big title since the US Open. She's obviously won Brisbane.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been...
First big title as world number one.
Yeah. And 10,000 points. First WTA
lead extended as world number one. And no, she doesn't have an awful lot. Well, she has a lot to defend on the clay, but not as much as Iga Swiatek, who is kind of loitering in that second position at the moment. And maybe Goff can kind of take some hope into the clay court season that she can sneak into world number two spot. That pen is really frustrating how there's no ink in that pen pretty much of her signing the lens in the camera. That's really disappointing. They couldn't have found a pen that works.
It's
anyway,
probably literally the same pen they've had for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. Every single person that has won a match on centre court has used that same pen. But yeah, super, super impressive from Sabalenka today.
Yeah, huge and worthy world number one. And yeah, honestly, she's not losing that for quite a while. Like,
absolutely,
things would have to go very wrong for her during the US hard court swing for it to even be on the cards.
Yeah, we'd have to. We're kind of in a similar position right now as we were last year, with Swiatek in such a high status as world number one with so many points, ahead of world number two. But it's so different because Sabalenka has less points to defend than the world number two currently. Like I feel like she's only going to go up. It could be that she's like knocked out of one of the clay masters earlier than she'd hoped for, but I feel as though it's going to take her to lose in maybe round 4 of the US Open and not defend her title in Cincinnati for any sort of big shifts.
This might be controversial, but I think given the state of play on the WTA Tour, maybe Sabalenka's the favourite for Madrid, in which case she's going to gain.
I mean, there you go. She's only going to rise more. But yeah, Sabalenka will now take a little bit of a break before she heads to Stuttgart, I believe, on the clay.
That sounds right.
I believe so. Sabalenka. Oh, I think the top 3 are. I don't think Goff's playing in Stuttgart. But
yeah, I'm not sure if Goff's playing.
Swiatek and Sabalenka are playing in Stuttgart, I believe.
All right, here's the Stuttgart entry list, and that's where the next big WTA event is happening. Obviously, well, Charleston, I feel like that's not in Charleston, which is next week. But that Stuttgart lineup is stacked. It's Aryna Sabalenka, Iga Swiatek, Coco Gauff is playing Fergus, Jessica Pegula, Mira Andreeva, Jasmine Paolini, Jean-Chin Wen, Emma Navarro, Paula Badosa, Deanna Schneider, Danielle Collins, Barbora Krejcikova, provided she's still fit, Beatrice Haddad-Maia, Donna Vekic, Ekaterina Alexandrova, Ludmila Samsonova, Clara Tauson, Yelena Ostapenko, Magdalena Freck, Elise Mertens, and then wildcards Eva Lees, Lara Siegmund, Tatiana Maria, and Hule Niemeyer.
Is that 9 out of the 10 top 10?
I believe so. Yeah, no, eight
No,
because
eight.
Rebecca's not
Eight.
there.
Yeah.
Rebecca and Keys are not there.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, that's pretty stacked. If the Stuttgart is always stacked.
I love Stuttgart.
It's always completely stacked.
I love the fields it gets. I love the atmosphere there. It's like a tournament I'd love to go see for as long as it's still getting these top WTA players. It feels like what the WTA finals should be.
And it would always be interesting to see if I don't know, maybe one day we'll have an opportunity, have a time where the WTA and the ATP tour finals will be played on clay, maybe an indoor clay surface, maybe, but that's a very rogue shout. And but maybe one day it'll be that they play indoor on the clay, but that's a big. Most of the indoor clay events happen very early on in the clay season.
Yeah,
Stuttgart, Rouen are both indoors, and then on the ATP tour, I don't think there are any on the ATP tour. No.
I think indoor clay as I think it's a tricky thing to do because as soon as you do it, you kind of wonder if it's being done to favour certain players. Like 10 years ago, if the ATP did it, everyone was like, well, you're doing it to try and favour Rafa. And if you're doing it now, you're doing it to favour Iga.
Yeah, exactly. Or for the guy. Well, I mean, it'd be interesting for the guys if he has Zverev and Alcaraz, but yeah. Anyway, that's completely.
This is beyond the scope. Thoughts on Pegula's performance today? Like, is it just she literally there was nothing she could do? How do you think she's going to kind of come away from today and from this tournament?
It was tough today for Pegula. I felt as though she didn't do a huge amount wrong. I feel as though she was slightly too passive. If she could take anything away from it, I feel as though she could have been a bit more aggressive all around. But I feel as though she clearly had a game plan and she stuck to it and she stuck to her guns. But I felt as though it just wasn't enough. Sabalenka sort of just found that extra gear right at the end there to just sort of push it beyond Pegula's level. And but I think she can take lots of credit from how she's played this week. She's really battled. I mean, she had a really long quarterfinal and a long semi-final.
She played two of the best matches of the week.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, against Raducanu and then Iala, those were two brilliant matches to watch. Really high quality matches as well. So maybe that she came in maybe not 100%. But I don't think she can be too upset with how she played in that final. She was just beaten by the better player. Yeah,
exactly. And let's face it, Sabalenka was just better than everyone this week, right? She didn't drop a set on the way to the title. She's broken her duck in Miami. I guess, has normal service been resumed when it comes to Sabalenka's season, or was it ever not there?
I don't know. I feel it's a bit more like some more normal services resumed. There was kind of like a little patch where everyone was kind of like, okay, well, Sabalenka's not unbeatable at the moment. Like she has an off day and someone has like a searingly hot day, then there's a chance that something could happen. But I feel as though she's now proved why she's world number one. She's obviously never won a big title as world number one, and now she's kind of been okay, now I've got over that hurdle. Now I can crack on with being world number one and really extend my lead at the top of the rankings and stay there for as long as possible. Because I have no doubts that Iga will come back firing on all cylinders, trying to hunt down trying to make sure she defends as many points as possible. Yeah. She can make up a few points in Stuttgart, but then she really has to knuckle down for Rome, Madrid, and France, which I have no doubt that she will.
Yeah, she will, because she's that much of a competitor. Coco Gauff, she's going to have a hot streak. She seems to do that every now and again. Keys, I'm interested to see how much of a contender she remains. And you've got the ever-growing presence of Mira Andreeva. We'll see how long that takes for her to be in the mix on a regular basis.
I'll be interested to see if, obviously, we don't know what the draw will be like because we're still nearly 2 months away, but come May, a French Open Andreeva Swiatek final would be something to behold, I believe.
That would probably be the best possible final, although maybe a Swiatek Sabalenka final at Roland Garros would be also quite interesting.
I can't believe we still haven't had a Sabalenka Swiatek Slam final yet.
Hey, look, we still haven't. We still haven't had Alcaraz Sinner Slam final yet.
Guys, what are we doing? We're missing out on the best possible outcome. It's going to happen at the same time that we're going to have an Alcaraz Sinner final and a Sabalenka Swiatek final.
I feel like the French Open could happen. Could also happen at the US Open.
It could very easily happen at the... Yes, I think it actually might happen at the French Open. Sinner will still be world number one. Zverev has more points to defend before Roland Garros than Alcaraz does.
Yeah.
We could see, but we have to imagine that Sinner won't come out guns blazing after his ban.
What about an Alcaraz Fonseca French Open final?
If the final
dream,
is,
right?
Can you imagine the state of Philip Charteris if the final is Fonseca Alcaraz? Like, people won't be able to hear themselves think in that stadium. It'll be that loud.
The entirety of Brazil will fly over.
It'll be like a football match. Spain on one side, decked out in red and yellow, and green and yellow on the other side.
Fonseca is giving Brazilians more to cheer for than their national football team at the minute.
It feels a bit like it, actually. But as Ozan said, it is too early for Fonseca. He will not.
Oh yeah, this is hyperbole at the minute. All right, back to the women. We've got it sidetracked. Sabalenka Swiatek final, very much on the cards. Iga's not going anywhere, as you say. I guess we're on the clay now, and Sabalenka is a force on all
surfaces.
But particularly on hard. And I think closing out this phase of the hard courts feels very appropriate. We're celebrating a title for her. Fergus, do you have any final thoughts on this match and Sabalenka's performance?
Not particularly. All my thoughts have been said. We will see you on the clay.
Yeah.
On the dirt.
Yes. Although, having said that...
Oh, sorry. No, we won't. We'll see you tomorrow for the men's final.
Yes.
I just completely forgot that the men's final hasn't happened yet.
Yes.
We won't see you on the clay. We'll see you on a hard court again tomorrow.
Indeed. We will see, men's final tomorrow. We don't know what time because this was delayed by the rain, and looking at the weather in Miami tomorrow, the men's final looks to be even more delayed. Fergus and I may be having some sleepless nights. Actually, no, let's do a quick men's final look ahead. Have you pre-recorded a men's final look ahead, Fergus?
I haven't, but there is a recording of a men's preview by the channel.
You haven't done one. Okay, cool. We're not going to step on their thunder too much, because proper preview is coming out. Stick around for that, and we're hoping there'll be a live stream to do a commentary for it between Jakub Mensik and Novak Djokovic. But Fergus, I want to hear your take on that match before it happens.
I've been kind of tossing and turning over this one. I mean, Mensik's been unreal this week. Like unreal. Like the amount of break points saved by aces or aces at 30 all, on his server have just been ridiculous. He's so cool under pressure. But I'm going to go Djokovic in 2 tie breaks. Plainly because I just think this, as Ozan said, this 100th title has been eluding him for the whole of last year. And I just feel like it's time. This is probably his biggest chance as much as Mensik's been playing so well this week, I think this is probably his biggest chance that he's going to get for the rest of his career. So I'm going to go Djokovic in 2 tie breaks.
Just to be clear, is this 100th title total, or does it not include Grand Slams?
100th title total.
Okay. It doesn't, and it includes the Olympics as well.
Oh, not the Olympics, but I don't think it includes the Olympics, but I think it does include Grand Slams.
Cool. So maybe if he doesn't get it, we'll start counting the Olympics.
So I know there are some Djokovic fans that definitely will.
I think you should. I'm shocked it's not.
I feel as though the Olympics is like a whole different structure, because then because people say like Olympics Murray is like a whole new brand of tennis player because of how good he was in the Olympics, but then they're not counted towards. They're like a separate achievement. They're not like two more big titles in a sense. They're two separate achievements, aren't they? So
I'm relatively controversial when it comes to this, but I am pro counting Olympics. I'm also pro Olympics being worth ranking points.
Same. Absolutely, I agree.
Okay, according to Wikipedia, it's 99 including the Olympics.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, you're actually on a Wikipedia though.
Yeah.
Okay, are we really taking that as your source of information?
Well, it's quicker to look at than the ATP site.
Okay, I guess we're going with Wikipedia.
Hey, look, I'm citing his Wikipedia. You can tell me if it's wrong. In terms of the scoreline, I could see it going 3, but I agree with you and with Ozan Fergus that 100 feels inevitable. I think it's probably a really interesting story. Although, having said that, I think this is probably the men's final. I can't remember the last big men's final I have looked forward to in quite a while. Maybe Sinner Djokovic in the ATP finals at the end of 23, because this is a battle of the generations. Mensik is going to be one of the players of tomorrow. He's going to be mixing it with Alcaraz and Sinner in future years, and Djokovic is from a generation past. It's amazing he's still as good as he is. So, yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going with Novak Djokovic this time. It wouldn't surprise me if Jakub Mensik pulled off something incredible in this final and showed the world how good he is. But 100 for Djokovic would be a really significant moment in tennis, and I'm kind of more here for that right now. So that's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah, I actually agree. I think this is the bigger picture here. Is Djokovic winning his 100th title. Mensik's going to have so many opportunities to win a Masters. I have no doubt that Mensik will win at the very least a singular Master. At the very least, for me, there is 4 big players of next generation, which are Sinner, Alcaraz, Fonseca, and Mensik. Those are the 4 big players are in the very small bubble of elite, and then obviously there are so many players that are like a fraction, like a half a step behind those 4. Those of your like Tien, Rune, Draper, like those sorts of players. But I just think at this moment in time, Djokovic seems to, when he really wants to step like in these sorts of really huge moments, just like no matter how big Mensik's serving, I have no doubts that Djokovic will just land it in the middle of the racket and it will scrape the line every single time.
And Djokovic has been looking like the Djokovic of old, where he looks like he might be down, and then he says, "No, I'm not."
Yeah, exactly.
He's actually locked in for this tournament, which I haven't seen him this locked in for a tournament since the Olympics.
No,
that's
absolutely.
Maybe the Australian. Australian Open, he was fit. All right, that's your quick preview. Proper preview to come out on the channel. Live stream coming for you of that final, where we'll be doing watch along, and then we have ATP and WTA Weekly, and we'll be just TBC on when there's going to come, but they will be coming out probably Monday at the latest, to talk through all the stories that have happened, including Aryna Sabalenka lifting the Miami Trophy, as I am seeing on my screen her posing for photos with that trophy. Congratulations to Sabalenka. What a way to round out Q1 of 2025. And I was very glad to do that with Fergus. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks. Pleasure as always. And I might be on the final tomorrow, but if I'm not, I will see you all on the dirt.
Fantastic. Well, I will probably see Fergus on the dirt. I'll see you all for WTA Weekly. But hey, whenever we meet again, in the meantime, take care and keep talking tennis.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.